FAODAIL Found is a remarkable archive of moving image footage capturing life across the Outer Hebrides throughout the 20th century, told through the eyes of the people who live there. Created by Uist Film at Taigh Museum and Arts Centre and supported by the BFI Screen Heritage Fund, the project brings together rare 8mm home movies, preserving memories, communities, landscapes and moments in time that otherwise might have been lost. Pooka has worked alongside Taigh since 2011, so when we were asked to help create a digital home for FAODAIL Found, we knew this was about much more than building a website. It was about creating a platform where people could discover, explore, contribute and reconnect with these stories, wherever they are in the world. We spoke with Andy McKinnon, Director of Uist Film and Project Lead, and Pooka's Paul Galinsky, Lead Designer and Developer on the website, about preserving heritage, designing for discovery and creating a digital archive built to last.
Hi, I'm Andy McKinnon. I am the Director of Uist Film, and I have been developing the FAODAIL Found Film Archive project in the Outer Hebrides over the last 10 years. And last year we got funding from BFI Screen Heritage funding via the National Lottery to develop a website for the project. And my first call was to Pooka. What I wanted the website to do was to make all the footage in our collections available to people in a searchable, bilingual manner, and that's really what the website has achieved. But I like the idea that people can find a clip on the website and then kind of see the related videos to that and then click on that and just end up, going on a journey, basically exploring and discovering lots of different footage. I think some of the earliest footage we were able to add to the archive is very unique. It's from the 1930s, shot by a local doctor, Dr. Alex MacLeod, and he filmed on a 8.8 camera, black and white, and filmed lots of aspects of life in North Uist, including one of the very first air ambulance services on the island. Fantastic grainy footage of this biplane taking off from the beach with some poor chap on a stretcher. One of the largest collections have the SCOT collection, which primarily is set or filmed on the island of Berneray in the Sound of Faroes. The Scots came to Berneray every year for a period of 20 years. Every time they left the island, they filmed the same scene of people waving to them from the pier as they departed on a boat. And there's 20 different versions of that scene across the whole collection, and it's just a fantastic series of moments in that collection, and indeed in the archive. It really it stands out. The beauty of the archive film is that it's quite rare. To date we've only collected about 25 hours of film. Nowadays are creating moving image content on a daily basis, and you know, and there's so much of it available online. It's you know, but the archive cine film is rare, and therefore quite, you know, it's valuable. We've known Pooka for a long time. Marcus was instrumental in designing and setting up our very first website way back, whenever that was. But it was great to get the chance to work team again with Paul and Marcus. I was really confident from the start that Pooka knew what we wanted this website to be, and had a very good handle on how we were going to get there. And it was very, very painless process, really. I mean, the difficult part was in actually populating the website with, you know, nearly 500 video clips, all fully described in Gaelic and English, and yeah. So I mean, and that's going to be an ongoing process. In terms of, you know, we're still receiving new collections and crowdfunding to get the reels digitized, and adding those to the website. But in terms of the actual production of the website and design, and very, very smooth, and yeah, just the feedback and the you know, the communications with Pooka were excellent as ever.
The key thing in any web development project is understanding what the priorities are, and in the case of Found, it was really obvious. It's all about the film. The film footage that they're curating is amazing, and we want people to hit those play buttons, and then we want them to start thinking about submitting some more film if they've got any hidden away in attics. Our job as designers and developers was really about saying, how can we get that film footage presented front and center, and then pare down the rest of the user interface as much as we possibly can. So we've got loads of options in there, things that people can do if they want. For example, they can view the whole site in Gaelic language form, they can start using captions, they can explore different collections and so on. But it's creating an interface around that prioritization of getting people to watch the film. That was the key thing for us.
We've had our first feedback through the website in terms of comments, and in fact additional footage. People getting in touch to say they have more archive film of the islands. They would be willing to add to the archive.
So there's lots of complexity on the Found site behind the scenes. I think probably the most interesting bit for us on this project has been working with the Vimeo API. Now, any video footage that you see on the Found website is actually being streamed via Vimeo, and Vimeo takes care of lots of complexity for you, things like what type of file should be served and how big is the screen, so therefore what size should that file be. That's all handled really invisibly. But then there's loads of extra cool stuff that we've been able to do, such as using our user interface with the Vimeo API to change the language on captions, to change the audio track, to use time codes and so on in videos. And then also behind the scenes, we've been able to do really cool stuff to help the team at Found. So things like just pasting a Vimeo URL into WordPress to drag over that video content and to turn that thumbnail image into a featured image. So loads of time-saving stuff, loads of interesting user interface stuff. And as far as how do we do this kind of thing at Pooka, it's really just about affording our developers time to go and investigate an API properly or a new piece of technology properly, so that they can really provide the best implementation that we can to make something really fun and nice for the end users.
I think the project can grow and grow. I mean, there is a finite amount of film reels still existing out there, but we want to find them before they're skipped and lost for good. So we see at least 3 to 5 years kind of growth of the archive and of the website. I mean, obviously, one of the great things about all the footage being online is that people from around the world can now access the films, and there is a huge diaspora from the islands across the world who can now see these film clips and explore the website. Before this was available, our only means really to share the footage has been to organise screenings in local community halls across the Outer Hebrides. Also, because we've made documentaries featuring the archive, we've been able to show it to a bigger audience across via the Gaelic channel BBC Alpha.
Doing it properly means doing something that we're proud to put Pooka's name behind. The FAODAIL project is so important to Scottish cultural heritage. It's way bigger than Pooka is. It's going to be here for at least a decade, and it's curating decades and decades of Scotland's past. We needed to make sure that it was done right, so testing all of our design decisions, making sure that that code is implemented in a way that's fast and really fulfills its needs at every single step. We've had a brilliant time on the project. We can't wait to see how it's used in the years ahead, and we look forward to supporting it as much as we've enjoyed building it.